best. You got him for a breast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show under the world of outlaws.
They call it the Great American Race. It kicks off NASCAR's season every year in every premier series of NASCAR. It offers up a win with much prestige and heritage a driver could ever want on a racetrack. This race has so many famous names in victory lane, such as Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, Junior Johnson, Buddy Baker, Bill Elliott, Davey Allison, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, and many others in recent years. The Speedway has seen everything from a photo finishes, safety cars on fire, potholes being dug up, and even fist fights while the cars are still on the racetrack. If you want to win this race, execute the basics flawlessly, and then the circumstances will dictate the outcome. Today, we will add another winner to the list of the greats of this famed super speedway as we get to watch the Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by our expression of the Daytona 250, live on the Dre Broadcasting Network. Hello, I'm Tanner Sharp, and alongside me in the booth tonight, doing all the camera pushing and helping me out call the action, is David Everly. David, this racetrack looks big on camera, but in person, it is a huge racetrack as you get a true sense of its size. Tell us about Daytona.
Well, Tanner, we are at Daytona International Speedway, a 2.5 mile plate track super speedway. Now, this track here at Daytona has 31 degrees of banking in the corners, 18 degrees in the tri-oval. Now, this track has been operational since 1959. Now, taking a look here at our weather, we have a temperature of 82 degrees outside, but I tell you what, the track is a lot warmer with 109 degrees. We are under clear conditions here at Daytona. Wind out of the southwest about 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, so it's perfect weather for racing, but it's going to be really hot if this was in real life stuff, because that is hot stuff. The fans in the grandstands are going to be wiping their foreheads with the sweat and drinking a lot of alcohol beverages or maybe some water and soda as well to keep them cool and hydrated. But the drivers are going to need water bottles to keep them cool, or at least some fans on them inside their cars, or shall I say in front of their computer desks, some little fans blowing on them. The series details today of the 2017 Profile Machines Cup Series powered by Our Expression is going to be 100 laps here at Daytona. The fuel load is going to be 100%. So fuel window will open up approximately 44 to 48 laps approximately. That's not 100% correct, but that's just an approximate guess on my end when the pit road should be open. So we're looking forward to exciting racing today. Keys to watch out for today is try not to bump draft in the corners of the racetrack here, Dave, because if you bump in the corners of the racetrack, you can really get someone sideways and can cause up a big pile up here on a virtual sim of iRacing at Daytona. So you really want to keep intact on how far distance you are from bump drafting, and keep an eye on the side drafting. Side drafting can turn out to net code stuff that happens on the racetrack where you actually didn't hit them and iRacing thinks you did, so be careful on the side drafting aspect part of it as well. So let's talk about the drivers in this series. To be able to talk about the drivers, since this is my first time calling the action of Upper Edge Racing League, let's talk about the drivers of the 2016 Cup Series Championship here. Austin Hartenfels won the 2016 championship with 2 wins, 12 top 5s, and 20 top 10s in just 22 starts. That's a magnificent record right there, and certainly a championship contender. Riley Davis was third in points. Corey Hoover in fourth. Michael Lorera, I apologize if I have the names incorrect. I'll be getting them right eventually here. He was in fourth tonight. Michael was last season, and Michael Fenlanson was fifth top 5 in points last season. So those are the drivers that finished the top 5 in points, and the ones you're really going to have to keep an eye on as well. And as far as all-time winners go, Michael Lalera has 7 victories last season, David, and that's pretty good, but he did not win the championship. So if he's going to want to win the championship, once the chase starts later this season, he's going to have to step up his game and try to win a bunch of races since he can do it in the regular season. Your thoughts?
Yeah, most definitely there, Tanner. But as right along with you, this is my first time here calling the Upper Edge Racing here at Daytona. So I think throughout the season we're going to get to know these drivers, know who out to watch for. But as you said, here at Daytona, the thing of it is anybody's ball game. We've seen drivers come from last place to win it. We've seen them come from the middle of the field. So it's just the type of track that it's anybody's ball game out there.
With that being said, David, it looks like we're starting to grid up here for the Daytona 250, 250 miles, 100 laps. Let's call it the grid here. Starting on the pole tonight, set on qualifying speed. Andy Glazik is on the pole tonight, and Nick Mass is going to be in second. Third place, Andrew Bird. Now, Andrew Bird won the qualifying race that earned him the right to start up front in third, and Bradley Burke won the second qualifying race, which he gave him the right to start in fourth. Joshua Adams in fifth, Cameron Hornsby in sixth, Corey Hoover in seventh, Ryan Dyson in eighth, Justin Munsell in ninth, and rounding out the top 10, Riley Davis. Go ahead, Dave, take a couple.
Starting in 11th position will be the 02 of Jamie Haley, the 38 of Shane Thurian starting in 12th. 13th will be the 39 of Branson Stafford. Robert Kenny in the 10 machine starting 14th. Starting 15th, the 8 of Chris Wright. The 14 of Michael Finlayson starting in 16th. Starting 17th, the 99 of Eric Blount. The 05 Tommy Amassi starting 18th. Starting 19th, the 9 of Trevor Rapolo. Walker Thomas in the 18 machine will round out your top 20.
Joseph Thies in 21st, Tom Bourne 22nd, Zachary Hissel in 23rd, Dalton Alexander 24th, Michael Alera, the guy on the all-times win list, starting 25th. 2016 championship winner, Austin Hartenfels in 26th tonight, Jamie Dyson 27th, Carl Shedd 28th, 29th, Corey Blevins, rounding out the top 30 cars in this field tonight, Marvin Wingfield. Well, folks, take your last sip. Actually, drink all day if you have to, but at least chow down whatever you're eating, because this is going to be a crazy restrictor plate race. Race number 1 of the 2017 season of the Cup Series here on the Upper Edge Racing League. Andy Glazik's going to start on pole. Here we go. Green, green, green. Let's go Great American Racing, boys. Coming off turn 4 for the first time today, the outside row is backing up, but it's all Andy Glazik. He's going to lead the first lap and get a bonus point for himself under his belt. Actually, at least a lap led under his belt as he leads the first lap. Down into turn 1, this bottom line is pretty much single file. That outside line out there is led by the 48 machine of Nick Mass. Behind him, he's being pushed by Bradley Burke. And not a lot of players on that outside lane, Dave. You got, like I said, Nick Mass, Bradley Burke's out there, the 46 machine of Cameron Hornsby, and the 24 machine, Napa Auto Parts machine. That's a good-looking paint scheme right there. Chase Elliott right there. That is Riley Davis, all on the outside lane, but everybody else ducked down to the bottom.
Well, Tanner, I mean, you got to look at it. We have a long race, 100 laps, 250 miles here at Daytona. Looks like these guys are just kind of running single file here to start off the season. Get a feel for all the drivers as they are just hammering. But as you said, that outside lane, it usually takes a little while for it to come in. So we are just waiting to see. But eventually, I think we're going to see some 2 and 3 wide before it's all said and done.
You know, Dave, you make a really good point on that outside line. You know, and if you're going to make that outside line work, even though it's kind of early to make that outside line work usually, if you're going to try to make it work, you're going to need a good group of drivers on that high side, really challenge for the race lead, because look where the 48 machine is at this time by. Last time by at the start-finish line, he was 8th. This time by, coming to the start-finish line, he is 13th. So that outside line is not looking very good right now. Not a lot of drivers are out there to help each other. And that outside line, guys like Nick Mass and the 51 machine of Bradley Burke all dropping to the back right now, including the 46 machine of Cameron Hornsby. So everybody riding single file in the bottom lane right now. There's not a lot of bump drafting, and that's actually a good thing, because I did talk about bump drafting at the top of the show, that you want to take it easy on the bump drafting, otherwise you might accidentally turn the guy in front of you. And right now, I'm not seeing a lot of bump drafting. I'm seeing a lot of drivers doing a lot of give and take and not getting all over that back bumper yet.
Well, going up front here, we are still being led by Andy Glazik. Has led every lap here so far. As he's just leading that bottom lane. As you said, these drivers are being real respectful. They're not getting up on that bumper, giving bumps. They are just kind of riding, using that draft there. Maybe fuel's playing a little bit of effect here. A little bit of pitch strategy, especially them guys in the back that they're in that draft, so they only got to run 3/4 of throttle to keep it running good, while the guy out front, man, he's full throttle the whole time, so he's burning up more fuel than the people behind him.
I want to take a look at the back of the pack here. It is the biggest action on the racetrack here, Dave. All the side-by-side racing back here is actually going pretty nuts right now, because you got a bunch of guys getting grouped up together here. You do got the 48 machine, Nick Mass, leading that high line up there, followed by a bunch of other drivers, including Michael Alera is back here. The 46 machine, Cameron Hornsby is back here. Who else is back here? He had the 45 machine try to jump up there. Actually, he is going to jump up there. Didn't know if he wanted to go to the inside or not, but that is Carl Shedden, the 45 machine back there, and the number 12, Dalton Alexander, all on the high side. So lots of side-by-side racing towards the back of the pack right now. We do have one car that lost the lead draft. That is number 8, Chris Wright. He is now entering turn 3 as the race leaders are coming off turn 4, entering the tri-oval.
Yeah, that's a bad thing here at Daytona, losing that draft. That is going to push you back, and before you know it, that lead pack, especially here, with them all running single file, they're going to catch him in a hurry.
I am a little concerned about the 05 machine, Tommy Emsey. He's in the back of the pack here, just kind of riding right now, but I just wonder if he's going to lose the lead draft here, because that's a big separation from him to the 73 machine of Zachary Hissel. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that as the race goes on. But pretty much the biggest battle might be up towards the front here. Is this the case? Yes, it is. Look at that Coors Light machine coming up towards the front here, Dave.
Yeah, most definitely. He jumped up there in front of the 48. Justin Munsell he is the new leader. But it looks like some of the drivers down low are thinking about jumping up and taking advantage of that second lane there, as it is starting to come into effect here as that 2 machine is coming. Yep, another driver going to jump up and take advantage of that, trying to push away. That's going to be the 13 machine of Andrew Bird. He is going to be leading the outside, but Oh, he goes a lot, almost touches that wall a little bit, but they get back in line and running. Double foul now.
Did you see what? I don't know if you've seen it, Dave, but you know why he went up to the outside wall? He straightened up the wheels much quicker than the leaders are on the bottom, and that made him stay even with the race leaders coming down the backstretch, and you can get really good run. Look at all these guys operating the high line now. Here we go. Andrew Bird, Andy Glazik, side by side for the race lead and to the line. Oh my goodness, too close to call, but it was Andrew Bird, according to iRacing, by 1,000th of a second.
Yeah, these guys are pushing these cars. I'm seeing speeds in excess of 200 mile an hour as they are just utilizing that draft here. We got a pretty good pack, but looking back, the 05 of Tommy Amassi has lost that draft, so he is just falling back here as he is just trying to do what he can to stay on that lead pack, but he is off of it. He is trying to catch that 73 of Zach Hissel, who is now the last car there of this lead pack.
Andrew Bird out front, and that was a great move. He did a drop right in front of Andy Glazik. Right now, high line is being ran by Justin Munsell. He's the leader of the high line, and he did try to challenge for the race lead, but didn't quite get side by side with Andrew Bird just yet.
Yeah, most definitely, Tanner. These guys are putting on a really good show here. They are running inches apart. Not really seeing no side drafting just yet, but I'm sure we are going to be seeing it in later stages of the race there as they try to come down and catch that side draft in the lower lane to slow them down. But it looks like that outside is just falling off a little bit as Justin Munsell is dropping back, but that's because Andrew Bird actually cleared Andy Glazik and dropped down to that bottom lane.
That's a good thing you're not side drafting this early in the stages of the race, because we did talk about I did talk about netcode, as we do got a battle for the race lead entering turn number 1. That is Justin Munsell trying to get the race lead away from Andrew Bird. Nothing going to prevail just yet. Let's see what kind of legs he can crawl up on the high side of the racetrack there. Ooh, and look like Andrew Bird may wanted to come up just a little bit, but thought better of it. Here we go. Justin Munsell going to go toward the race lead. Can he clear Andrew Bird to drop down in front? I don't think he can. Not quite yet. But right now, it is Justin Munsell trying to do everything he can to get the lead away from Andrew Bird. And Munsell's got a lot of good guys, a lot of good drivers right behind him.
Yeah, most definitely. They are just putting the hammer down here, setting off these lap times. Right about the low 45s running right now. So they are running some good lap times here, running as a tight pack. And definitely, I also want to take a thanks out to all the viewers out there at home that are tuning in tonight here on Dre Broadcasting for the Upper Edge Racing Profile Machine Products Cup Series. We have James Wormsley out there, Eli Green, IU Dave. How you guys doing? Definitely keep that chat busy. Keep it typing up. We will definitely be checking in on that chat every now and then.
Munsell out front, and that was a good move. He pulled pretty much the same move Andrew Bird did to try to drop down towards the inside row. The inside row is pretty much the lane you're going to want to be in. It is the shortest way around the racetrack, but look at this heavy-duty push the 02 is getting from the 38 machine of Shane Theron, and that 02 machine, Jamie Haley. He started outside the top 10, started 11th tonight, and he's being pushed by Shane Theron, who started in 12th. Ooh, we did have a blinker up towards the front. That was the 13 machine of Andrew Bird. Well, get this, Dave. 28 cars are still in this lead draft. 28 cars, separated by 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's a pretty tight field there, Tanner. These guys are definitely putting it down here, as that outside lane has only got 6 cars up there. Actually may get 5 there, as the 13 of Andrew Bird elected to drop back down into the bottom lane. So looks like that outside lane's going to be hurting a little bit until they get a few more cars up there to form a good pack to try to make a push. But I tell you what, here comes the 02 of Jamie Haley making a good push there on the outside with the help of the 38 of Shane Thurian. Definitely running good on that outside. Also, there's the 88 of Joshua Adams also running on that outside lane.
Yeah, definitely. That outside lane's it has some good group of cars up there. It's just a matter of trying to getting everybody together and pushing. but so far that outside line is kind of dying down just a little bit. They're starting to come back right now as they're entering turn number 1. That's going to be the story of the day is can that outside lane work? And I think if you're going to want to try to go for the race lead or any kind of position, Dave, you're going to want to be on that outside row with a good group of guys behind you.
Yeah, you definitely, this is the type of track, you can't do it by yourself. You got to have a couple good pushers behind you. This type of race, it's not just about driver talent, but who's willing to work with you and how well they're willing to work with you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the rookies, any kind of rookies, would be a little bit afraid because they're like, who can work with me, and nobody wants to work with them.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder: these guys are running 100% fuel loads, so they were going to be doing just about the same type of pits as actual Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. So they have the same amount of fuel in these cars, but these guys are running too wide. As we see the 13 of Andrew Bird. Yeah. It looked like he was trying to go up there.
He was trying to go up there to slam the door. It was too much a run for Justin Munsell. And Justin Munsell had he was clear all around. So now he's able to get the O2 to push. Munsell up towards the front and will lead a lap. Stays on the high side.
Well, taking it at early stages of a race, we are going to take a look at our race report. No cautions so far. 4 lead changes here. We've had Glazik, Bird, Munsell, and Munsell there have all led laps so far here tonight. Fastest lap of the night was a 44.926. That's a pretty good lap time here at Daytona.
It certainly is, Dave, and it is, especially when you're in the draft. But let me ask you a question, Dave. If you're somewhere in the mid-pack, how would you want to play out your pit strategy? Right now we're coming to complete 17 laps. We're going to be on lap 18. And would you be thinking about pit stops right now or no?
Well, you kind of got to. You can't just kind of go on a whim here on the pit stop because you're going to need people to come with you. Here at Daytona, pitting by yourself just will not work. It'll just set you further back. So you have to have other cars coming down the lane with you, down pit road, or it's just going to end up disastrous because you're going to drop back in a hurry.
Yeah, definitely. So you want that drafting partner, and it's going to be very critical to try to get on the radio and start working with some other drivers out there on the racetrack. And if I was up towards the front, I would be really focusing on trying to pit with the race leaders. So, but if you're in the back of the pack, I would try to communicate whoever is around you.
Yeah, definitely here at Daytona, communication is key. You got to know who's going to come down with you and hope they actually stick to the game plan. If you got a teammate nearby, I mean, you definitely got to be on that team channel as well. It's like I said, this is not the type of track where you can come down pit road by yourself.
Kind of looking at battle up towards the front. Here's pole sitter Andy Glazik, who chose to go towards the outside lane. He had second thoughts, but then decided to go towards the outside line. Nobody really behind him, and as of right now, he's going to drop back like a rock because there's no drafting help behind him. There's drivers up there, but who is that way in the back of the pack that could get to him? That is the Jamie Haley, who was up towards the front. Now he's all the way backed up towards. He wasn't the top 5 last time by at the line, but he is dropping like a rock outside the top 10. Yeah,
most definitely. Still 81 laps to go here for the Daytona.
3 wide. Yeah, look at that. Almost 3 wide. They caught one of the cars that was actually a lap down. That is Chris Wright.
Yeah, he does go a lap down, but he stays high to let them all go around him. I think what he's going to try to do is drop it in at the end of this lead pack so that he's right there because, something does happen. He is in the lucky dog position to get back on that lead lap, that's for sure.
10 cars are lined up single file on the bottom side of the racetrack here as we are completing lap 20. 20 laps are in the books here today for the Daytona 250. On the bottom side of the racetrack for the Daytona 250 for the Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by our expression of the Upper Edge Racing League.
Yeah, we got quite a few viewers out there in the chat talking. We got some that don't like that high line, but We got John Brummett in there saying, yeah, it's true, but I tell you what, that high line can be fast. Oh, we got some 3-wide action. We got a car in the wall. We got a heavy checkup there with the 32 machine of Andy Glassick. As the car in front of him kind of got into that wall just a little bit and caused the checkup.
Sitter. Yeah, the pole sitter looked like got into the wall there just a little bit. Scraped the wall. There was some 3-wide action there. Almost contact between two drivers, and those two drivers was Bronson Stafford and Walker Thomas. Walker Thompson, another driver, into the outside wall. Held it fairly good, though. Was able to keep the speed up over 190 miles an hour, so very good job, as the pole sitter is actually in the back of the pack right now.
Well, Tanner, as I said there at the start of the broadcast, just because you go to the back doesn't mean you're out of this race. If the field gets spread out and we happen to receive a caution here, that'll tighten the field up. So just because you fall back a little ways doesn't mean you're out of it.
Doesn't mean you're out of it, indeed, but we got a new player that's laying that high side and coming to the front with a full head of steam right now. Check this out, the 24 machine on that high side. That 24 machine is Riley Davis. He's getting a punt and a push from Bradley Burke. Now, remember, Bradley Burke was another driver that dropped to the back of the pack, and now he's making that outside line work. Bradley Burke's being pushed by the 88 of Joshua Adams.
Yeah,
These guys are making their presence known right now.
Yeah, they are. And I tell you what, the 39 machine, as we take a look at him, he is riding right back there. Just still, Bronson Stafford still sitting there. He's got the car right behind him, and I think that is the 02 machine of Jamie Haley still running that outside line there, as they're making a pretty good push with just 5 cars.
Now remember that checkup. That checkup that happened coming off turn number 4. Ooh, I thought I seen something there, but never mind. Split the race up into 2 different packs. The packs is up towards the front, which is a battle for the race lead. Here comes the 24, Riley Davis. Can he clear Justin Munsell? This is for the lead down in turn number 2. This is the first pack. Look at that. Great teamwork. Riley Davis out front, and the 51 machine, Bradley Burke, in second, doing some teamwork. They both got clear from Munsell, and now they're up towards the front. That's some good teamwork right there. Now, that first pack is the first 12 cars right here. The second pack is led by Corey Blevins, which is a number of cars, about 12 cars or more. Corey Blevins is back in 13th spot.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at their speed. They're not quite running the higher speeds like that lead pack is. I'm watching Corey Blevins there. He's hitting 193 mile an hour right now. So it just makes me wonder, because I didn't see any damage, but I tell you what, there goes the 46 machine of Cameron Hernsby, as he is going to try to move on to that outside there. But these guys just ain't running as fast as that lead pack.
Well, if we could switch back and forth between the first group of drivers and the second group of drivers, let's look at the difference. The first group of drivers are all running single file with the exception of one car on the outside row. Look at the second group, guys. The second group are side by side. So if you're going to run single file like this, you're going to run faster than the guys who's going double file.
Yeah, most definitely. But in this second pack, we got some 3-wide action going on already here with Corey Blevins leading.
Oh boy, 3x3.
Yeah, they're 3 wide, 2 deep here in this back line. They are just racing. They just want to get up there and get out front. But I tell you one thing about running 3 wide, though, that is going to slow them down, and that is going to let that lead pack pull away. As we see the 12 machine there of Dalton Alexander doing a little side drafting on the 25 machine of Corey Blevins, slowing them down just a little bit.
Eric Blount was into the wall in 3 and 4. He's okay. But, the running 3 wide in this second group is not going to help these guys out at all, trying to catch down the race leaders, because their lap times by that 3 wide slowed their lap times down drastically. They are now more than 9 seconds behind the lead pack.
Well, that lead pack, it's all single file now here, being led by the 24, Raleigh Davis, Bradley Burke, Justin Munsell, your top 3 right now, is they are just running single file. It looks like a couple drivers thinking about trying that outside lane, but one of them thinks better, drops down. But, yeah, these guys are hitting about 197, 198 mile an hour in the turns.
Much the biggest action-packed portion of the racetrack is the second group of drivers. They're still side by side, losing a lot of time to the leaders, but because they're battling back and forth. And this is pretty much the biggest battle on the racetrack at the moment, as the race leaders all top 10, top 12. Yeah, that's right. About 12 drivers, all single file.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do. The best thing to do right now is these drivers need to get single file, get lined up, and make a push here. Actually, I'm looking at the 25 machine of Corey Blevins, and I do believe I see some rear end damage on that machine of his.
It can affect the aerodynamics here in Daytona, and yes, sir, indeed, he does have some rear bumper damage. The spoiler too is all bent out of shape and crinkled up, and he does have some rear end damage. We're have to keep an eye on his performance. And now remember, he was leading this second pack, and now he's not anymore. So, and right now he's only going 195 miles an hour down the back straightaway, 196 compared to the guys ahead of him who are going 200. So, do you think you would be concerned for Corey Blevins?
Well, looking here, we're on lap 29 coming to lap 30. Looks like we're going to have some pit stops here within the next 15 laps. As long as he can stay in this pack, I think he'll be okay. His pit crew's going to have to do a little repair to that body, but I don't think right now it would be really a time to start worrying too much about it unless it really starts affecting him.
I would hope for a caution flag to get as much damage repairs as I can on that number 25 machine, because on a caution flag, it's a long time for a pace lap around here, even though the pace car is only going to 80 miles an hour. But right now, if you're going to pit with these guys ahead of you, I would just go down pit road and probably take 2 tires at the most. That way you can stay out front or keep up with the guys.
Yeah, well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for tuning in here to the Dre Broadcasting as we bring you live action from Upper Edge Racing Profile Machine Products Cup Series here at Daytona for the Daytona 250, the kickoff for their 22 race season, which you will see almost every week here on Thursday nights.
Second pack still going side by side. It looks like they're trying to get guys grouped together on the bottom as best they can, but that high line is not working out very good. There goes the A-Team machine, Walker Thomas. I wonder, Dave. I'm gonna look back here as we're still side by side. Or still watching a second group of drivers here. I'm just kind of looking back here to see what really happened to split these two groups up. Just kind of see here. I don't know how it's not a caution, but I guess somebody wrecked. Just kind of looking back at my replays here.
Well, I do see that we have a few cars. The 73 of Zachary Heisel. Don't see no damage on his car, but he is off of the lead pack there. Also, the 5 of Joseph Thesis. He's got some heavy damage to the back left of his 5 machine there. So taking a look back, the 5 there, Tommy Amassi. Now they have a 4-car pack here, but no damage from him as well, as he is running here at the end of the lead pack.
Hey, Dave, there was an accident down 1 and 2. We actually missed it. I don't know how I missed that wreck, but the 99 machine got turned in turn 1 and 2, which caused the breakup. He got turned by Corey Blevins. The 99 machine was Eric Blunt there down 1 and 2. That took place on lap 23. We did miss that wreck, but hopefully we don't miss any more.
Yeah, most definitely so. But as you said, we are still running lap 33 coming to lap 34. Looking here, we have 67 laps remaining here in the Daytona 250. So, yeah, like you said, I don't know how we missed that crash, but, I mean, we have a big field out here, so unfortunately we missed it. But we'll try to keep our eyes out for the next one. But these guys are doing a good job here. 34 laps, caution-free so far, being led by the 24 of Raleigh Grant Davis there, with the 51 of Bradley Burke, Justin Munsell sitting in 3rd, Joshua Adams 4th, and Andrew Bird 5th.
Oh, believe me, I'm clicking away on every single car on the racetrack to see who's all where right now. But meanwhile, that second group is running single file, and they gain a second on the guys, the leaders, by doing that. So hopefully they can keep it up and try to at least make up some ground on the race leaders. But it is led by the most laps led so far in this race. Riley Davis out front here in Daytona. Second place, Bradley Burke, Justin Munsell in third, Joshua Adams fourth, Andrew Bird fifth. Sixth place is Shane Theron. Michael Fenlanson is in seventh. Bronson Stafford in eighth. Robert Kennedy in ninth. Running out that top 10, Jamie Haley.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, we are going to give you a special treat. Turn them sounds up because we are going to let these engines roar. Actually, no, we have people breaking off here, going down pit road for the first round of green flag pit stops here on lap 36.
It is Austin, 2016 champion Austin Heinsfeld is down pit road. Andy Glazik, pole sitters down pit road. Ryan Dyson down pit road. Corey Hoover down pit road. And Jamie Dyson is also down pit road as well. So we got some green flag pit stops opening up right now.
Yep, we are seeing our first round of green flag pit stops. I tell you what, Tanner, I've always said that green flag pit stops will separate the boys from the men. Because you've got to have that great pit stop, and especially on a track like this where these drivers are doing such high speeds.
Majority of these pit stops here down pit road is 4-tire pit stops. Whoa, be careful on entering the racetrack. Holy cow, in front of lap traffic's way. Man, oh man, that was pretty close, but nobody did get hit, though. That's a thankful feeling right there. As these drivers is led by Andy Glazik, pole sitter, back in 22nd position, as he's off from pit road taking a 4-tire pit stop.
Yep, this is going to really shake shake up the field here. We are going to get spread out here. We have multiple packs out here running here on lap 37, so we are still waiting for the race leaders. Are they going to pit now that, nope, they are still running, but they just come across the start-finish line, so I don't know. I mean, we've already seen our first round of green flag pit stops, so pit strategy is starting to come into effect. Now, the question is when will the leaders come down pit road?
That's what I'm keeping an eye on right now, is when are the race leaders going to come down pit road here. It should be fairly soon. There is another pack I do want to keep an eye on, and that is going to be a pack led by the Dalton Alexander, the number 12. He's got a good group of drivers behind him as well. That might come down pit road. Dalton Alexander, Walker Thomas, Michael Lalera in the 15th position. Corey Blevins. Corey Blevins has got some front end nose damage too as well, and I do believe that was from the accident. He made contact with Eric Blunt earlier.
Yes, these leaders are now 39 laps, no pitting, so they're on 39 old tires. But here's the thing about Daytona. Tire wear really is not that much of a key factor as in some other tracks like New Hampshire, Iowa, even Charlotte. So tire wear is not a major breaker here, but I mean, as we said, we do have a kind of high track temperature at the moment, so that does also affect your tire wear.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes it can. I have not done any kind of restrictor plate racing with this new tire that is it's supposed to increase tire wear a little bit. But in past racing history, from my experience, I'm always under green flag conditions taking 2 tires, and that way, I can save some time on pit road and the racetrack, because you never know, some guys behind me might be taking 4 tires, or the guys ahead of me are taking 4 tires. But right now, we got to keep an eye on the race leaders as well. Everybody's single file, as we do have quite a few cars down pit road already. Just going to keep an eye on my track map here to make sure that anybody else is going down pit road. We do have some drivers on pit road right now, actually. Dalton Alexander is one of them, all down pit road. Here we go, race leaders on pit road. Pit road's going to get busy here, folks. Big time. Ooh, 60 miles an hour. Don't speed. Don't beat yourself on pit road. Nice job from everybody getting onto pit road.
Yeah, we got a good shot there from our commitment cone as you saw them guys breaking and coming down. We have a big field down here on pit road right
It's
now.
the leaders. Yeah, that's the leaders. Meanwhile, drivers that Dalton Alexander led down pit road, they all pitted. That was Dalton Alexander, Trevor Rapolo, Andy Glazick was already down pit road. Ryan Dyson, Corey Hoover, Austin Harton, Jamie Dyson, Corey Blevins. These guys were all down pit road. So right now the race leaders were all down pit road. They enter the racetrack. I don't believe there is a staying below the yellow line kind of rule until you get off the exit of turn 2. I know some leagues do that. This league, I think you just enter the racetrack and go, as what I'm seeing.
Yeah, taking a look at their rule book, it's basically all other tracks, they have to enter the backstretch except for Talladega and Daytona. So as we saw them, they came out onto the racetrack, but we are still being led by the 24 of Raleigh Davis with Bradley Burke right behind him. Joshua Adams sitting there in third, Michael Finlayson fourth. But I tell you what, the rest of the fields kind of broke off as we got the 54 of Tom Bourne leading another 4-car pack with Andrew Bird, Jamie Haley, and Bronson Stafford. But right behind them, you see Shane Therian, Robert Kenny, Marvin Wingfield, still off running by himself. But yeah, this definitely shook up the field here, more than likely there, Tanner.
Shook off the field, and I tell you what, the 24 machine's still out front, but drivers that pitted, the first drivers down pit road, like the Pulsar Andy Glazick, was all down pit road. Let's see where they are at this time by. Andy is up in 13th spot, Ryan Dyson in the 14th, Corey Hoover in 15th. So those were the first guys down pit road. And I do have to add that every driver has at least made a green flag pit stop, with the exception of Chris Wright, who is 1 lap down in 29th. So kind of looking up here, up towards the front here, Joshua Adams has caught the leaders along with Michael Finlayson. Now, a driver that I've seen on the move since the drop of the green flag and under these green flag pit stops has been Tom Bourne. Tom Bourne is in the top 5, started 22nd. And another driver that is actually on the move as well, he's actually going to lose some position here, is Marvin Wingfield. Started Taylor and Charlie in 30th, up to 11th last time by. He is going to lose a couple positions here, so he is outside the top 10, going to possibly looking in.
I'll tell you what, this second pack here led by the 54 of Tom Bourne, they have 7 cars there compared to the 4 of our leaders. So they should be catching them. They are a little ways back here, taking a look right about 4 seconds from the leaders. So, you know, they got some time to make up, but they are kind of eating away at that lead of that 4-car pack leading this.
It is now less than 4 seconds here, Dave. I got the live timing and scoring up on my end of the screen here. It is now 3.9, 4.0 back and forth. So they are starting to gain some ground on the race leaders. Hopefully they can stay single file to try to gun them down.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at the halfway point, so we are going to take our first commercial break of the night, but don't worry. We will have the race up so you can watch it live while watching the commercials from our sponsors. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.
them four abreast, often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway for the Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by Our Expression. We're just about reach halfway. Next time by when they hit the start-finish line, we will be halfway. Let's kind of go through the field here. Riley Davis is out front in the 24 machine. He has led the most laps today. Bradley Burke in second. Joshua Adams in third. Fourth place, Michael Fenlanson is in the fourth spot. Tom Bourne, coming from the 22nd position, is up there in the top five. In the fifth spot, they are maintaining time on the top four cars. Andrew Bird in sixth. Bronson Stafford in seventh. Shane Theron in 8th, Robert Kennedy 9th. Rounding out that top 10 is Jamie Healy. Now, the second group is 11th on back. That is Ryan Dyson, Corey Hoover. Pole sitter Andy Glazik is in 13th. Austin Hartenfels in 14th. He is the 2016 Cup Series champion. Jamie Dyson in 15th. 16th, Marvin Wingfield coming from the 30th spot. 17th, Justin Munsell, who was up toward the front, but now back in traffic in 17th. Walker Thomas in 18th. Dalton Alexander in 19th. And that rounds out that second group of guys. But the guys are not too far behind is Trevor Rapolo, Corey Blevins in 21st, Michael Alera in 22nd place, drafting Corey Blevins. And the right behind him is, who is that back there? Oh, 21 seconds back. Excuse me, that's just 21 seconds back. But behind Michael Alera in 22nd is Cameron Hornsby with some splitter damage.
Yeah, most definitely here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen a race here tonight. 52 laps in the books, no cautions. We have seen some drivers hit the wall, but unfortunately, they did not throw the yellow Ford as these guys are hammering down. Also going back up front here to the 24, Raleigh Davis leading 28 laps here tonight. Munsell leading 10. Glassick, our pole sitter, 7 laps. Andrew Bird, they're leading 6 laps, and that includes, but taking a look at our race report, we have had only 5 lead changes here tonight. So, not too much action up front as they are running single file.
Yeah, that wreck that you mentioned earlier that did not bring out a caution. Maybe it shoulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But that wreck was contact between Eric Blunt and Corey Blevins down in turn 1 and 2. Those two drivers do have damage from that incident. But although we are still green, and we've been green flag since the drop of the green flag at the start of the race, so been pretty fairly clean. Are you expecting a caution, Dave, or are these guys going to run a green flag to the end?
The way they're running, it looks like they're going to run to the green flag, but we're going to find out because that second pack air, it looks like they are making up some ground there on the leaders. So this lead pack that of 4 cars may be longer, but once they get bunched up, anything's possible because I have a feeling we're going to start seeing that second line again.
5th place, Tom Bourne is leading that second pack. Actually, the race is now split into 3 different packs. The first pack is actually 4 cars, between the top 4 cars. But Tom Bourne's leading that second pack with a big group of drivers, and they are gaining. It is about 2.3 seconds right now. Kind of looking at the timing and scoring here, the live timing and scoring. Yes, it is about 2.3 seconds right now. Remember earlier it was like 3-something seconds. So right now they gained a second on the leaders. So they're trying to gun them down here. But we've been green flag long enough. Actually, no, we have not been green flag long enough for another pit stop. So I am really thinking it's going to be a 2-stop race. So these guys have 1 more stop to make it to the end.
Yeah, the earliest we saw a driver come in was 38 laps, was when we first started seeing. But looking at these leaders, it's been 14 laps, so they came in and right about lap 41. So they can probably go, if they do stay on the same strategy, probably right about lap 80 to 82.
Yeah, Ryan Dyson and Andy Glazik, Corey Hoover, and Jamie Dyson have been the longest out there on the racetrack. Those were the first drivers that hit pit road, and that was about 21 laps ago now, as they come across the start-finish line. So we have to keep an eye on those drivers. If they start pitting early again, we will let you know for sure.
I tell you what, I'm looking here at the 28 of Ryan Dyson. They have a pack. There's at least 10 cars there in that pack. So they are running single file. So I think we're going to see a lot of people catching up to that lead pack. Right now Ryan Dyson showing right about 3.2 seconds from the leader. But that is actually getting smaller because, once again, the more cars you have, the faster you're going to go.
Yeah, that Ryan Dyson on back. That's 11th place on back. That's about 11 car packed on a straightaway all on the bottom there, running single file. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. They are gaining time. Last time by it was 6 seconds back from the race leaders. They just gained 4/10, so it's now 5.6 from the race leaders, and they gained pretty much the same amount of time as Tom Bourne. Them guys now. Tom Bourne is leading that second pack around. And he's in the top 5, and he's less than 2 seconds now, gaining on the leaders.
Well, they got the extra benefit of 2 cars in the draft. As you said, Tom Bourne, 54 machine, is catching that lead pack, and he is bringing a field with him. So we now are down to 43 laps remaining here at Daytona in the Daytona 250 for the Upper Edge Racing Profile Machine Products Cup Series, here live on Dre Broadcasting.
It'll be a little while until we see green flag pit stops, but every driver needs at least to make one more pit stop to make it to the end here in Daytona. There's no fuel mileage, so throw that out the window. Meanwhile, it is Riley Davis up towards the front. He has led the most laps today. How many laps has he led here today, Dave?
Currently, he is being showed leading 34 laps of the 58 Ram.
Good looking Napa Auto Parts machine. Chase Elliott machine right there, looking really good on the iRacing Virtual Sim. Bradley Burke dropped to the back of the pack at the start of the race, and now he's up there in the second spot, riding comfortably and safely behind the 24 machine of Davis. Joshua Adams in the 88 machine started in the top 5. He is currently up in the third spot. He, I believe, is another driver that dropped towards the back of the pack early on. Michael Fenlanson is up there in 4th spot, started 16th. And get this, Tom Bourne has caught the race leaders.
Yep.
And now it's just a matter of pulling up. Are they going to try to go to the outside and make something happen? Or are they just going to run single file? And if they do run single file, that might mean a little trouble for Ryan Dyson on back.
Yeah, most definitely so. As we are going to keep an eye on this and the leaders, see if they are going to go. Looks like they're just going to stay in line. Now, I really thought with that big pack that they would move to the outside and try to take over the race leaders using that second lane, but they are just going to ride here single file. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to give us another shot here. We are going to go crank it up, so turn up them volume as we hear these car engines roar around Daytona International Speedway. Well, there, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Crank It Up cams, and I tell you what, hearing them engines roar, I don't know if... I tell you what, I got my blood boiling. I don't know about all the viewers at home. Definitely hit up that chat. What do you think of those engine sounds as they are running? But going back to the action here, going back, it looks like that second pack being led by the 28 of Ryan Dyson, and the other 10 cars is catching back up to this the lead pack. So we are going to have a big group of cars here on lap 63 of 100.
Yep, they're catching here, Dave. It is less than 4 seconds. Ryan Dyson, 11th place on back. He's got about 11 cars with him. Are catching up towards the race leaders. Now, here's my prediction here. I believe it was a little bit too long of a wait to try to catch up to the race leaders while drafting single file like this. And I think it was too long a wait because in about 10 laps from now, they will be the window for opening pit stops because right now it's been 28 laps since Ryan Dyson, Corey Hoover, Andy Glazik, Jamie Dyson all on the pit road. They came to pit road 38 laps into the race, and from 10 laps from now, it will be 38 laps. So we'll have to keep an eye on who's going to pit early and who's going to stay out. I don't know. I would just try to keep on focus and trying to catch the race leaders. And if they pit, just go ahead and pit. That way you're not going to lose much time. Yeah, like making me take 2 tires. I mean, that could be a good strategy call. Depending upon how your car is handling, though. If you think you're handling okay and you're not sliding up the racetrack on corner exit, then you could probably take 2 tires.
Yeah, most definitely, Tanner. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a bunch of viewers out there in the chat. Definitely chat it up. We are beyond the halfway point, 37 laps to go here tonight. So, of all the viewers out there, let us know who you think has got the best chance at coming away with the win here tonight.
Oh, boy, I've been trying to determine that since the drop of the green flag, and all I'm doing is flipping coins here, and it's like, nope. All right, I think I'm going to go for either 24 or the 51, flip a coin. I don't know. But I tell you what, it is an unpredictable race whenever you race Daytona and Talladega, definitely. But I really want to see how pit stops is going to mix up the field a little bit before I really make a call on my pick for the winner. So we'll just have to keep an eye on the pit stops here, in my opinion. But if any viewers out there would like to go ahead and pick out a winner for this race, go right ahead. You're free so to do so here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. As you see, Ryan Dyson in 11th spot. They are gunning down the race leaders. They are coming here, Dave.
Yeah, taking a look, they have cut it down to 2.5 seconds here as we see cars doing the switch. One thing we forgot to mention is about running in the pack is you got to be careful. You got to watch that water temperature, because running in the draft, yes, you're going to get the speed, but that water temperature is going to rise, and if you don't watch it, you have a good chance of blowing your engine.
Yeah, you just got to keep an eye on the temperatures as well, and you don't want to ever damage the nose because it just, in my opinion, under this new iRacing build that came out, I think like 3 weeks ago, I've had issues in a carburetor cup race. Actually, no. Did I do any? I don't remember if I did any restrict plate racing, but from my understanding is if you do damage to the nose, it can overheat the engine. Now, I've had a problem at Dover one time. I hit somebody's back bumper, and I kept running lap times pretty decent, but my engine temperature was going up. So I don't know if that plays an effect, but you do want to keep an eye on the engine temperature with the airflow, allowing that air to get to the engine of the race car. And they are catching the top 10 drivers there, Dave.
That they are, Tanner. They are catching them in a hurry, but looks like Tom Bourne there, I don't know if he got shuffled out, but he is the only car there on the outside. He may have had to step out to get some air under that hood, but as you said, here comes the 28 machine of Ryan Dyson. They are now 1.6 seconds behind the leader, so they are cutting down that time in a hurry. They are coming for him.
I want to point something out here. There is a white machine, a 25 machine. That is, oh no, excuse me, not 25, the 05 machine. That is Tommy Emsey. He's a lap down, riding right behind the guy who's in 10th place back there. That is Jamie Healy in the 02 car. But the 05 Tommy Emsey is 1 lap down, just riding in pack. Doesn't have any damage. He just lost the lead draft, and now he is a lap down. Meanwhile, Zachary Hizzle, the 73 machine, is in 26th. If he stays with this lead pack, he could try to go up there and challenge Tani MZ for the lucky dog spot if we have a caution and if they don't get involved in an accident. So there's like two different races going on. You got drivers racing on the lead lap and drivers who are lap down racing for position as well.
Well, Tanner, while you were talking, it looks like Ryan Dyson and them have came down on pit road. We are seeing our second round of green flag pit stops here on lap 69.
Yeah, it's an earlier pit stop than what they made the first go around. That is Corey Hoover, Andy Glazik, Trevor Ruppolo, Austin Hartenfels, Jamie Dyson, Marvin Wingfield, all down pit road. And hopefully they don't get run over coming back up onto the racing course. So green flag pit stops have opened up with 31 laps to go.
Well, we know they can do 31 laps for sure on a tank of fuel, so I don't know. Is this going to be pretty good pit strategy? But it looks like they are staying pretty bunched together with just about the same group, a little smaller, but you know they are getting hooked up here in line. So this is a good chance there. Definitely is. Now we are just waiting on the 24 of Raleigh Davis to come down pit road here, as they are actually starting to catch the 28 machine there in his group of Ryan Dawson. Is they are now coming through the dogleg.
Nobody down pit road this time by on the racetrack here. The number 5 machine, I believe, is on pit road, but I do believe he is out of the race. That is Joseph Thies. So Joseph Thies is out of the race here in Daytona. 13 laps down. All right. And now we got to see if the race leaders are going to come down pit road for a green flag pit stop.
Yeah, we were in that window. These guys can make it after this pit stop. We are keeping an eye on the 24 machine. It does not look like their group is not coming down pit road. They are going to keep out running.
Trevor Ruppolo, Andy Glazik, Jamie Dyson, Austin Hartenfels, Corey Hoover, Ryan Dyson, all pitted now, and now they are in front of the race leaders, trying to escape in a single file pack right here. Now this is going to be an interesting concept on if they're going to come out on top or if they're going to come out the same time as the leaders. This is going to be really interesting. I told you pit stops are going to really shake things up.
Well, as I always say, I'll tell you what, that's my favorite part of watching this racing is the green flag pit stops. Here at Daytona, 195 plus mile an hour down to 60 mile an hour so that they don't get that speeding penalty. So, you know, that it takes a lot of skill to get down on pit road, because I'll tell you, a time or two, I have spun trying to get my car slowed down while trying to enter pit road. So it's a lot more challenging than it looks.
Yeah, it definitely does. I just don't want anybody to beat themselves on a pit road at all, as they are going around a lap car right here. I believe that is the number 9 machine or not lap car, excuse me. He's going a lap down. That is Trevor Ruppolo there. So they have pretty much caught the guys who came down pit road, but I don't think it's nothing to fear just yet. Actually, I would fear a little bit of Trevor, because he has lost the guys he pitted with. Well, maybe you can re-catch them. Man, they are running for their lives right now, just hoping the race leaders will be pitting soon.
I'll tell you what, that little 5-car pack, though, is doing a good job considering how large that lead pack is right behind them. I mean, they have a line of those V8, high horsepower, high octane engines there behind them, but they are doing a great job at keeping them at bay, as we are now lap 74, 27 laps to go.
Just got to keep an eye if they're going to, if any drivers are down pit. We do have drivers down pit road, actually. Zachary Hissel's down pit road. Cameron Hornsby is down pit road as well. Only 2 drivers down pit road. How about this time by? No takers yet.
Well, taking a look at that lead pack, they are at 34 to 35 laps since their last pit stop. So they probably got maybe another 8 to 10 laps of fuel left in those cars. So they're going to be pitting here soon. But I tell you what, I got to give props to Ryan Dyson Corey Hoover, Austin Hattenfields, and Jamie Dyson, and all the way back to Andy Glazick, they are holding off that lead pack pretty well. Pretty surprising considering they only got 5 cars in theirs and that huge line coming behind them.
Yeah, if I was race leaders, I wouldn't get too aggressive on trying to pass these guys right here. That's a good group of guys up there that are lined up single file. But this would, as a race leader, this would give you the opportunity to save fuel because you can draft by somebody and kind of lean off the throttle a little bit to try to save a little gas. So this is some interesting strategy right here. Just stick behind them as we will keep an eye on who's going to come down pit road here. We do got a bunch of takers right now. Joshua Adams, Michael Fenzlan, Bronson Stafford, Shane Theron, Tom Bourne, Jamie Haley, Robert Kennedy, Walker Thomas. Trying to see who's that other one right there. The number 2 machine, Munsell, Dalton Alexander. We're all down pit road. They're coming off pit road right now. Here comes the race leaders. Here they come. There's Riley Davis, Bradley Burke, Andrew Bird, all down pit road.
Here is strategy. This is strategy, ladies and gentlemen. As we saw that pack that just came in, they had a lot of cars. This one here looks right about a 6-car pack here down pit road right now for some green flag pit stops. I see a lot of drivers taking 4 tires, full tank of fuel. Who's going to be the first off pit road? And that looks like that is going to be the 13 of Andrew Bird.
Boy, they better go because some drivers at pit are just going to be coming through the trioval right now. They better get going on the racetrack. And here goes a few of them by right now. Carl Shedd is actually one with nose damage. Chris Wright is actually on the racetrack. Those guys are actually a lap down, excuse me. But trying to see as this field is going to get, back together here.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tanner, we got a new race leader, the 25 of Corey Blevins. He is being pushed by the 44 of Michael Laria. Back in 3rd place is going to be the 48 of Nick Massey. And Carl Shedd sitting right there behind him. And so we have a new race leader, but I tell you the 13 there's not too far off. The question is, where's the 28 machine? What position is he sitting in? He is currently 15th position with a huge pack of cars as they are making their way around some other cars here. So they are definitely hammering down. So, I mean, this is going to come out to be a good race.
Yeah, Corey Blevins, Michael Alera, Nick Mass, and Carl Shedd have yet to make a pit stop in this race. So otherwise, everybody else has pretty much made a pit stop, and they can make it to the end. So once the Carl Shedd, Nick Mass, Mike Lalera, and Corey Blevins hit pit road, that will hand the race lead over to Andrew Bird. But Andrew Bird's actually being challenged by the 88 machine.
Actually, it looks like the new race leader, once they go in, is going to be the 14 of Michael Finlayson, as he is in front of the 38 of Shin.
Oh, yeah. You're correct there. My fault right there. So Michael Finlayson will be the new race leader once the top 4 cars pit. Now, where did the 24 go? He's mirrored back in traffic here just a little bit, but still up towards the front. But don't take your eyes off the drivers behind him. There is Eric Blunt. He is several laps down now. But Tom Bourne's got to recatch these guys again like he did earlier. Walker Thomas, Justin Munsell. In the 13th spot, Justin Munsell is. Cool looking Coors Light paint scheme there. All right, the leaders have pitted. Probably with the exception of Nick Mass and Carl Shedd. Michael Lalera is down pit road. I don't think he has a drafting partner, actually. Oh, yeah, he does. He has a drafting partner, and that drafting partner will be Corey Blevins. Oh, they're pitting this time. They're on the radio. They're going to pit this time. They got on the horns. So Nick Mass, Chris Wright, Carl Shedd, all headed down pit road this time by. That will hand the race lead over to Michael Finlayson. Finlayson. Excuse me. Shane Theron is in second place. Andrew Bird, third place. Guy who led the most laps all today was the number 24 machine of Riley Davis. Bronson Stafford rounding out that top 5. Joshua Adams 6. Tom Bourne caught the leaders, getting a nice push from Walker, Texas Thomas Ranger on the high side. I had to come up with a nickname for you there, Thomas, but man, oh man, we got the bump drafting going in the corners now. They thought about going to the high side, and it kind of got shut down. There goes a 24 towards the outside line, but no drafting help.
Yeah, the 39 machine's going to take that position away. He's not going to jump up, but he is going to take that bottom lane from him, so he can't get back down. That is going to leave him out there. But look, there's the 28 of Ryan Dyson. He is trying that outside lane there as they are making a move here. We are starting to see some double wide here. Lap 82 of 100. 19 laps remaining here tonight.
It is 19 laps remaining here in Daytona, coming to 18 laps to go. We're going to go 3 wide in the middle and 3 and 4. The 39 machine got kicked out of line. That is Bronson Stafford on the high side of the racetrack. We are 3 wide in Daytona and going to be coming 3 wide through the tri-oval. 18 laps to go in Daytona.
I tell you what, I am just in awe here. These drivers have put on a great race. 83 laps, no cautions. We have seen 2 rounds of green flag pit stops, and these drivers are still, I mean, I tell you what, Tanner, I can't pick anybody I think is going to win because you just don't know.
There was somebody in the chat said the 24 was looking really strong, and I definitely agree. He was looking super strong. He is steering mirrored back in traffic, but actually, and I shouldn't say he's back in traffic, but he is coming up towards the front with that punt and the push from the 28 machine of Ryan Dyson. Ryan Dyson has pitted early all race long, and now he is a contender for the race win up there in the top 5, pushing the 24 machine of Riley Davis. Battle for the race lead, Riley Davis versus Michael Finlayson. Down in turn number 1, that Mobil 1 Toyota is really carrying some horsepower as he goes on entry along with the 38 machine of Shane Theron. Who can carry the legs down the backstretch and get a nice good run? That outside lane kind of actually still holding on very nicely, but I think they're going to need a little more drivers up there to really make it work. Going to keep up on some lap traffic here though, Dave. Coming up here, that is Carl Shed with some pretty significant nose damage coming off turn 4. He's about to go a lap down here, and he will go 1 lap down once they catch him.
Yep, but they are going to have to go 3 wide to get around him as he is holding up by the wall. He is going to stay out of the way of this lead pack that is running double file. I tell you what, look at that outside lane. They have a numerous amount of cars on that outside lane as these drivers are wanting to get up here. 16 laps to go here for the Daytona 250 season opener for Upper Edge Racing Profile Machine Products Cup Series.
The trophy for the Daytona 250 is just getting louder and louder, and it's making noise as these drivers know it is time to go, put the throttle down, time to go, make the moves, make the correct move towards the front here. Now we're really getting some significant guys up towards the high side. The 88 car back there jumped up toward the high side. That was Joshua Adams. To the line, Riley Davis beat Michael Finlayson at the line last time by, and he should be able to clear him this time by. Maybe not quite yet.
Well, just an interesting fact here, Tanner. Riley Davis there has led 53 laps. Mathematically, nobody can catch him. He will be the driver that led the most laps here in season opener at Daytona 250.
Exactly, and Riley Davis finished second in the point standings last season of 2016, so we know he's going to be a contender this year for the championship, and he's certainly proving that on a restrictor plate racetrack as of Daytona. He's out front in that 24 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, and on that high side now is being led by Ryan Dyson.
Yep, and he's got the 29 of Austin Hartenfields, the season champion last season, the 2016 season champion. He is on that back bumper, giving him a great push, but they need some more help behind him.
Exactly. Where did he come from? Where did Austin Hartenfels come from? He's up there in the top 5. Oh, gets a little loose. He might take him 3 wide. Oh, man, actually, it cut him a break there. He got a little loose in the middle of the corner there, or maybe pushed tight maybe a little bit, but he did step out just a tick. Austin Hartenfeld is up there in the top 10. He's got certainly a good chance. Now they're coming up on some lap traffic here up towards the front. That is Chris Wright and Nick Mass. They're going to stay high for the race leaders. The clock is ticking louder and louder and louder as we are reaching the end portion of the race here in Daytona, coming to the line for 12 laps remaining. And these drivers know it is time to get serious.
Yes, we see the 18 and the 13 machine. Well, the 18 thought about going high, dropped back down low to 13 there of Andrew Bird, new leader on the outside lane as they have a pile of cars ready to make a push to the front. Meanwhile, up front, Raleigh Davis leading, Michael Finlayson second, pushing him. Third place, 38 Shanthurian, as these guys are battling it out. Lap 89, 12 laps remaining.
Man, I kept calling Riley, but I have a nephew named Riley, but this is a Riley, so he's showing some stuff here in Daytona. The 14 car, Michael Finlayson, looked like he wanted to jump towards the outside of the groove, but thought better of it this time around. But he's going to have to keep an eye on his rear mirror if they're going to make a big run towards that outside line. If they do, it might be a good idea to jump up right in front of them so they can help push you and you can be the lead pack. Sometimes you got to put yourself in a good position to where they're forced to help you.
Yeah, most definitely 11 laps to go, 10 at the line. It's go time, Tanner. These drivers know it. These laps are ticking away in a hurry. They got to start making their moves, start planning what they're going to do as these laps are counting down.
Man, whoever said in the chat that 24 car of Davis, good gosh, I mean, he fell to the back. He actually didn't fall to the back, but he was mid-pack, and he climbed himself back up towards the race lead. He is super strong, and I totally agree with them. Right now, we do got a challenger for the race lead. That is Shane Theron. Shane Theron in the 38 car up on that high side there, trying to make out his paint scheme. I believe he does have a teammate in this series, and if I'm not mistaken, it is that 18 car, Walker Thomas. But here comes Shane Theron on that high side, getting a punt and a push from the 13 machine of Andrew Bird. Nice move by Shane Theron to get towards the inside, and now he can get himself some laps led.
Yep, but they are catching those lap cars in a hurry, so we are going to see some 2 wide, 3 wide as they are going to make their way around them. The lap cars are going to stay high. We are 3 wide up front as they are making their way around. Lap traffic, 9 laps to go.
Here comes Davis on the high side, got clear of that outside row, jumped on up there, and now he's going to force the 13 machine. Looked like Davis got a little loose coming off turn number 2, but it looks like the 13 machine of Andrew Bird punting and pushing the 24 car up towards the front. The 24 car is going to go to the bottom side of the racetrack where the inside line has the most of their speed on entry of the corners.
See the 28 machine of Ryan Dyson. He is going to drop down low. He is going to leave that outside lane with just 2 cars. Lap 92 coming to lap 93. These laps are ticking down. What is going to happen here? These drivers are giving it their all. I guarantee they are putting some finger marks in their steering wheels.
I don't know. If I'm going to have to go for a winner of this race, I'm going to go with the 24 car. I just don't see how you can really shake off that 24 machine unless you throw an aggressive block. But if you do that, you might cause an accident on the racetrack.
Up 28. Back on the outside there. 3 cars on the outside. We are 2 wide. But they just don't have enough get as they can't get up to the leaders. But they are going to stay side by side with the 14 machine of Michael Finlayson coming here through the tri-oval. More lap traffic in front of them.
Here's what I'd be concerned right now here, Dave. If I was a race leader, if I was Davis and I'm the race leader, I'd be worried about Shane Theron making a move toward the outside line since he's in the second spot. Because if you really not going to be able to block the guy who's in second place without them clipping your right rear quarter panel. So you're really going to have to watch him, but you're also got to watch in rear mirror to see if that high line is going. But right now, that high line is really dissipating at the moment.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have had a treat here in the season opener. 94 laps so far, caution free. All green flag racing, all green flag pit stops. But it's not over. These drivers know they got 7 coming to 6 laps to go. It is go time. They are going to have to make some moves. Are we going to see 3 wide here with less than 5 to go? Oh, that's the question. I tell you what, I'm on the edge of my seat there, Tanner.
Yeah, so am I. I'm just trying to curious and see who's going to try to make a move. If Shane Theron's going to make a move towards the outside line, I'm sure he's keeping an eye on that outside line back there. Somebody gets below the yellow line back there, but fall back in line. No harm, no foul. But you got to remember, folks, if a caution does come out with 5 laps to go or less, that might end the race. Just keep that in mind because iRacing does not have green-white checkers. Coming off turn number 4, we are coming to 5 laps to go. Here goes steering towards the outside. That's what I'm talking about right there. You don't want to throw a black on the second-place driver if he makes a move towards the outside line because you might come up on him and he might wreck you for it, which isn't really Theron's fault if that happened. But Theron made the correct move, saw a bunch of guys coming, and now he's challenging for the race lead. Let's see what kind of legs he can carry down the backstretch. It is Theron versus Davis off the high side. Wow, huge punt and a push from Davis and a bunch of other drivers. Oh, so close.
Wow. I mean, you couldn't have fit a piece of paper in there.
I tell you what, Theron had to do what he had to do to drop below that on that bottom side down there. But here it comes, Dyson. Ryan Dyson in that trying to challenge for the second spot. Looks like it's going to die down just a little bit here. And now Shane Theron is on defense mode.
Yep, he has got to keep an eye on that 28 of Ryan Dyson. They are going 3 wide as they go around lap traffic here. 4 laps to go. Next flag will end this race, whether it's the yellow or the checkered flag. But Dyson's falling back a little bit. I bet you the 24 moves to that outside lane. Dyson is going to pump him.
Yep. He's like, man, I better get down there, otherwise I'm going to get clipped in a right rear quarter panel. Here comes the 24 machine of Riley Davis. Keep calling him Riley.
Well,
but it's Shane Theron out front beating them to the line. Man, there's really nowhere to go for 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place. There's nowhere to go for them drivers because these 2 drivers keep swapping back and forth.
Well, we got 3 laps to go. Question is, Tanner, are we going to see some 3 wide action for the race lead? Are we going to see, well, I know we're going to see 2 wide, but are we going to see some drivers try that 3rd lane to try to sneak away and come away with the win here in the season opener at the Daytona 250?
I don't know. It's 3 wide racing. Daytona's a little more narrow than Talladega. Talladega, yes. Daytona, no. But these drivers are doing everything they can to try to help each other out. The way the drafting package works here on the iRacing simulator, it's the drafting package that's pretty similar to the real-life drafting aspect. But here it goes, Theron trying to throw a block on the 14 of Finlayson. Finlayson was already there. Theron had to go to the bottom to hold his own. We're going to be coming to take the white flag here.
Yeah, and we are 2 wide. 14 of Finlayson challenging the 38 of Shane Theron as we are definitely coming here to the white flag. We got 2 Toyotas out front.
3 miles to go here in Daytona.
Coming through the triangle, coming for the white flag. The white flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. White flag is out.
Look at those. Those are teammates on the bottom there. Look at this. The 18 that's Walker Thomas, tried to go for it. I'm assuming the 18 and the 38 are teammates. And it looks like the outside lane is dissipating. It is going bye-bye. Now, who's going to challenge up towards the race lead to challenge Shane Theron? Walker Thomas is in the 2nd spot. Those 2 look like they're teammates because their paint schemes are fairly similar out on the racetrack. Oh, we got trouble on the back. Bumping and banging. We got a big crash. The 54 machine is around Tom Bourne. Big accident off turn number 4. But coming to the checkered flag, it's going to be Shane Theron win the Daytona 250. Can we get a replay on that accident?
Yes, we will pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay for the first time tonight. We are going to focus on the 24 of Raleigh Davis here as we are going to rewind it and see exactly what happened here. Oh, little bumper between him and the 54, and that just caused a train reaction as these cars were spinning. But what a finish!
Yeah, that was a bump drafting going wrong. You know it's coming down to the end of the race like this, and people are going to be pushing and shoving. Now, a 3-car tandem, a 4-car tandem, a 5-car tandem just ain't going to work. It's going to get everybody out of whack. But the 24 had to do what he had to do, and he tried going underneath the 54 machine down in 3 and 4, and he accidentally gets into his left rear quarter panel, turning around the 54 machine of Tom Bourne. Tom Bourne was having such a magnificent run today, coming from the 22nd spot. Man, and some drivers are getting involved with this as well. I'm seeing the O2 involved, Ryan Dyson involved. Justin Munsell just gets by unscathed. But nonetheless, folks, it is Shane Theron winning the Daytona 250 in the Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series, powered by Our Expression. So with that being said, Dave, do we have we can go straight to interviews, eh?
Yeah, definitely, as we are keeping an eye here on the 38 machine, doing his victory burnouts. What a win. He definitely deserves it. We are going to get race interviews with our top 3 finishers. Shane Theron winning, Walker Thomas coming in second, Dalton Alexander finishing your top 3.
All right. So we could do some interviews right now. I got Shane Theron waiting in the interview room here. Let's kind of pull him up to the broadcast booth here. I know he's still celebrating here. Actually, give him a few moments to celebrate here. But wow, that was a tremendous finish right there here in Daytona. And look, get this, Dave. Shane Theron came from 12th, Walker Thomas 20th, Dalton Alexander in 3rd, who will get 24. Started 24th. Michael Fenlawson started 16th. So the top 4 guys started outside the top 10 today. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool accomplishment.
Most definitely. That was, I tell you what, to be honest, it's been a long time since I've seen a 100-lap race at Daytona go caution-free.
Oh yeah, that was awesome watching this race go caution free. And somebody said in the chat, I can't believe this race is caution free. That first wreck, they could have had an accident, but they didn't. They held it together. And these guys, watching these guys was a lot of fun, in my opinion, here today. My first time calling this racing league. These guys gave each other a lot of respect out there, and I gotta give them a round of applause for that. So let's talk to one of the top 3 drivers here. Let's talk to 3rd place driver Dalton Alexander. Dalton Alexander, Tanner Sharp, Dre Broadcast Network. Do you have a copy?
I do.
Man, that was a crazy race, all race long, caution free. You come from the 24 spot. You got to feel pretty confident about that and finishing in the top 3. You did get through that wreck unscathed, by the way, coming off turn 4. What are your thoughts on today's race?
Wow, yeah, what a race. It was a lot of fun, and it was... I'm still kind of amazed I came 3rd. 10 laps to go, I think I was sitting 20th. And then all of a sudden, we were coming into the last lap, and I had the chance to get the top 5. And then all of a sudden, the outside line died. And it was the Evil Motorsports, and then it was me. And I forget who was behind me. And it was just straight to the finish. And then, unfortunately, my buddy Tom wrecked. It would have been cool to have him get that top 5. But just the way it rolls sometimes in these super speedways.
Yeah, absolutely. You were 6th on the final lap, and you come out to gain 3 more spots to get 3rd place here in Daytona. Now you came from the 24 spot, and so how hard was it to draft with these cars to make passes? What is your take on passing here in Daytona?
It was very tough. This race particularly, I think. And it was a little bit easier, I think, than it was in the duels and in the preseason shootout, just because it was a little bit warmer being daytime. But it was, unless you were right on somebody's bumper, you could not keep the draft. And it was a lot of luck of the draw when trying to pass people, and it got very loose later in the run, and that's what happened with in that last lap there that caused that wreck. But you had to be right on your game the whole time, coming into those corners, and especially when there's cars in front of you, behind you, and on the outside, it gets really hairy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, Dave and I, we weren't driving, but I tell you what, we were on our edge of the seat since the drop of the green flag, wondering what was going to happen. And it was a very exciting race to watch up here in the booth. And now we go from Daytona all the way to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Drive for Suicide Prevention 250. How do you feel about Atlanta entering at the Atlanta race?
Yeah, I'm actually very disappointed because I will not be here next week. One of my cousins is getting married, and I will not be here next Thursday, but I will be here the Thursday after, and hopefully I can jump right back into this top 5 business.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for coming to talk again with us here tonight on Dre Broadcasting Network, and congratulations on the top 3 spot.
Thanks. Real quick, I want to show my thanks to Justin Munsell. This is my first race on his team, and he took me in. For the longest time, I was with Evil Motorsports and Sky Motorsports, and we're still close, but figured we'd put some more Fords in the field.
Oh yeah, it was great watching you guys running in a pack together to catch other drivers too.
All right, thanks guys.
That was Dalton Alexander finishing in the 3rd spot tonight here in Daytona. Now let's go up to the 2nd place driver, Walker Thomas.
Oh, hey, Dalton.
Walker Thomas, do you have a copy from Dre Broadcasting Network?
I gotcha.
Man, that was a whale of a finish right there. Are you teammates with Shane Theron, I have to ask?
Yeah, we are. Us and Mike Finlayson.
All right, those are some awesome paint schemes, by the way, and I assumed you guys were teammates. But did you think you could probably try to get around Shane before they coming to that checker flag right there?
I didn't know. I tried to back up to Tom. He's an affiliate with us, and we just didn't get the run going. So I tried to go high, and then Mike fell back, and it just wasn't really a run there for me to take.
Yeah, definitely. And now you're one of the drivers that started outside the top 10. You started 20th today. In your aspect, how hard was the drafting for you out there to try to get around drivers?
It was really, really tough. The suck-up was terrible. At one point, I got in the wall and actually fell back. We split into 2 packs and everything. And, I was back behind 20th with green flag racing to go. I didn't have a caution to catch back up. So I'm really proud of how I came back up and was able to finish not only just in the top 5, but to get 2nd right behind my teammate.
Yeah, definitely. It's great for you guys to finish 1-2, and now that really kicks off the 2017 season for you guys. And now you're going to transition from Daytona to Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is a bumpy racetrack, a 1.5-mile racetrack. How do you feel about getting your chances on getting your shot at a victory lane, like your teammate here today? How do you feel about getting your chances on the victory lane at Atlanta?
I don't know exactly. I've got a shot. I feel like I have a shot almost anywhere we go. But in this league, there's tons of good guys that are good at 1.5 miles. Michael Araya, he's a stud at the 1.5 miles. So it's gonna be tough. But I think strategy comes into it, and I can get my car working in different lanes, finding it out. I think it'll be all right.
Absolutely. Well, I wish you the best of luck at the Atlanta Motor Speedway next week, and congratulations on getting a top 3 finish, a 2nd place for you there, Walker.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
That was Walker Thomas finishing in the 2nd position tonight at Daytona, right behind his teammate, as we are about to talk to his teammate right now, Shane Theron. And Shane, do you have a copy?
I got you.
Shane, that was a crazy race. You were battling back and forth with the 24 car up there, the 14 car, back and forth. How did you decide to put yourself in position for the race lead in those closing stages?
It kind of happened by accident. I was trying to get me and my 2 teammates clear of the 28, so all 3 of us could go to the front. But then there was some miscommunication. They said they were clear and they weren't, and I went up there, and it ended up working out. I didn't really think it would, but it did.
Yeah, it definitely worked out for you and Walker, indeed. And I tell you what, you are another driver that started outside the top 10. You started 12th tonight here in Daytona. As I talked to Walker and Dalton, they said the suck up was horrible with the drafting package here. And how hard is it for you with the drafting package, along with trying to make them pit stops under a green flag and know what to take, 2 tires, 4 tires? How difficult is it to make them kind of decisions on track?
Yeah, it was. I don't know what it is with these cup cars, but there is no suck up. The only time you can get suck up is if you're like one of the first 3 cars in a line, and then the pitting on these cars, the braking isn't that well. I think I missed my pit box both times, and somehow managed, but had to take 2 tires in the last stop because I think the RCA guys and that other pack took 2 to try and beat us. We had to try and beat them, so we did that, and I don't know. It's just you got to think quick here at Daytona, or else you're gonna lose your opportunity.
Yeah, it seems like you once you make a decision, you have to stick with it on track. And I noticed that in the closing stages, a bunch of you guys were giving each other a lot of room. You guys weren't really side drafting each other that much out there. You guys are just trying to get a good group of guys on that high side to push you. And once you make a move on the racetrack here at Daytona or Talladega, for example, you really have to stick by your move.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like when I made that mistake of go high without my teammates, I had to stay up there. I was like, well, I'm here now. Might as well.
All right, now you get a win under your belt, and you don't really have too much to worry about for championship chase form wise. But I tell you what, you walk in Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. Do you feel like you got a nice, good shot at trying to get the victory lane for 2 wins in a row?
I think I do. I like Atlanta and these A cars. I had a good chance last season, just unfortunately got into a wreck. But I feel pretty good about my chances going to Atlanta.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a fun race to watch here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. Well, Shane, we thank you for coming to take the time to talk with us tonight, and we will see you at Atlanta.
Thank you, guys.
That was Shane Theron finishing in the top spot at Daytona by winning the race. Let's take you through the field here. Shane Theron on top of the board, Walker Thomas second, Dalton Alexander in third, Michael Fenlausen in fourth, Riley Davis in fifth, who led the most laps tonight, Andrew Bird in sixth, Justin Munsell in the Coors Light Machine finished seventh, Corey Hoover eighth, Ryan Dyson ninth, rounding out that top 10, Joshua Adams. Dave, could you take the rest?
Finishing 11th is going to be Jamie
I can
Dyson.
take the rest too. That's no problem. But so outside the top 10, Jamie Dyson, Bronson Stafford, 13th place, Andy Glazik, 14th place, Tom Bourne, 15th place, Robert Kennedy, Trevor Ruppolo in 16th, Bradley Burke in 17th, last car in the lead lap, Austin Hartenfels, 18th place, Jamie Haley in 19th, and rounding out the top 20, Nick Mess. Michael Lalera in 21st. 22nd is Marvin Wingfield. Corey Blevins in 23rd. Tommy MZ, 24th. Carl Shed, 25th. Chris Wright, 26th. Zachary Hissel in 27th. Eric Blount in 28th. Cameron Hornsby in 29th. And rounding out the top 30 car field is Joseph Thies in 30th. Well, Dave, before we close up the show here in Daytona on the Dre Broadcasting Network, any final thoughts before we pack up our bags and head up to Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Well, I tell you what, it just was a great race. We had a great finish. We went 100 laps, caution free, here at Daytona for the season opener. Here for Upper Edge Profile Machine Products Cup Series. Here, and I tell you what, we did it here on Dre Broadcasting Network. This was a pleasure to call. Just action all over the track here, Tanner.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a great restrictor plate race here in Daytona. Probably one of the best I have seen, especially when it comes to less side drafting. A lot of drivers giving each other a lot of room. I really like that in any kind of driver on iRacing. You know, don't worry about the side drafting. Just get a good group of guys behind you and let them push you, and just keep your pedal to the mat, and you will be okay. That's what I like about this, and that's what I've seen today. So join us next week here on the Dre Broadcasting Network for the Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by Our Expression. Next week, June 29th, 2017 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Drive for Suicide Prevention 250. Thank you, everybody, for coming to watch tonight's stream here, and we will see you next week here at Broadcasting Network.